This is 12.3 notes. No homework tonight, just going over this. So factoring is the opposite multiplication. So we looked at doing this yesterday. So we have x and 2, and x and 5. This is x squared, 2x, 5x, and 10. And so we have x squared by itself. We have these two that we're going to add together, so that's going to be something to remember in a little bit. 7x plus 10. Find the factors. Okay, so we're going to be trying to figure out what we can get to get this. And so in class today, we guessed and checked a little bit until they found out it was x plus 5 and x plus 2. But we're going to learn how to do this without guessing and checking. So the first step is to factor out the GCF. So if I look here, I have 6, 17, and 5. They don't have anything in common. And then x squared, x, and no x, so there's nothing in common there. Second step is we multiply the first and last terms. This is our products. So 6x squared times 5x is going to be a product of 30x squared. The middle term is our sum. So this middle term is our sum. Now we're going to find the magic numbers to multiply to get our product. So we're looking at this product, so I can say, well, 1x times 30x, 2x times 15x, 3x times 10x, and 5x times 6x. All of those will be multiplied together to give me 30. But I also want something that when added together will give me 17. Well, 1 plus 30 is 31. 2 times 15 is 17. So these two multiply to give me my 30x squared, and when added together give me 17x. So this number is going to go in this box. This number is going to go in this box. And our first term is going to go in the first box. And our last term is going to go in the last box. Now this we looked at yesterday, so we're going to factor out. So 3x and 1, 2x and 5. So we have 3x plus 1 times 2x plus 5. I'm going through this pretty quick, but let's look at the next one. So we're going to start by first factoring out. So we're going to factor out. So 2 can go into 2, 16, and 32. We have x squared, x, and nothing, so it's just a 2. So I'm going to factor that out. And to do our S&P, we're going to ignore that front 2. So we're not looking at this anymore, we're looking at this. So my sum is this middle number, so negative 8x. And our product is x squared times 16, so 16x squared. My next step is to find something times something gives me 16x squared. So 1x times 16x, 2x times 8x, and 4x times 4x. Next, what is something when I add together gives me negative 8? Well, all of these are positive, so none of them added together will give me a negative. But a negative 1 times a negative 16 also gives me positive 16. Negative 2 times negative 8 also gives me positive 16. Negative 4 times negative 4 also gives me positive 16. So now look, negative 1 plus negative 16 is negative 17. That's not what I want. Negative 2, negative 8 gives me negative 10. Nope. Negative 4 to add together does give me negative 8. So those go in my sum boxes, which we circled on number 1. Now, my first term, which is x squared, goes in the first box, and 16 goes in the last box. Factor it out. So we bring our 2 up that we factored out earlier. We have x minus 4. We have that twice, so I can just square it. Let's look at number 3. Find my greatest common factor. 9, 3, and 12 is a 3. X squared, x, and no x, so I'm not going to have an x with it. This is going to be 3x squared plus x minus 4. So we're no longer using this, and that 3 doesn't matter right now. So my sum is 1x, and my product is negative 12x squared, So, negative 1 times 12, negative 1x times 12x will give me a negative. One of these has to be a negative to get that negative. Negative 2x times 6x, negative 3x times 4x. So I'm looking at it, negative 1 plus 12 does not equal 1. Negative 2 plus 6 does not equal 1. Negative 3 plus 4 does equal 1. So I have negative 3x and 4x. My first term goes in the first box. My last term goes in the last box. Factor out the rows. If you forgot how to do that, go back and look at yesterday's video, yesterday's homework. So bring my 3 back out up here, and I have x minus 1 and 3x plus 4. Let's look at number 4. Coefficients, there's nothing to factor out. Variables, there's nothing to factor out. I'm going to be just using this. My sum is 2x. My product is 1x squared. 1x times 1x. The only thing that can give me 1x squared. Add them together does give me 2x. So 1x, 1x. Add my first term, my last term. Factor them out. I get x plus 1, and I get it twice, so I'm going to square it. All right, let's look at example 5. Example 5. All right, what I want you to do is I want you to try number 5 and number 6 on your own. So I want you to pause this video, try both of those. So my first step, just to remind you, is if I pull out your GCF. The second step is my S is my middle number. My P is my product. Multiply my first and third term. Find the magic number. Just put magic number. And then I'm going to find my factor. So go ahead, pause the video, do 5 and 6. When you're done with both, push play. And we'll check the answers. Alright, so you should have already tried both of those. I'm going to post the answer to both of them, and we're going to talk about it. So I pulled out 2x here, making this 3x squared minus 7x minus 6. My sum was negative 7. My product was negative 18. So what I did at first, and this might have been where you went wrong, is, if you messed up, is negative 18. So one of these is going to have to be negative. But when I add them all together, negative 2 plus positive 9 does not give me negative 7. It gives me positive 7. But remember, only one of these terms has to be negative to get the negative 18. So I erased my negative 2 and made the 9 the negative. Negative 9 plus 2 did give me the 7. So 2x to negative 9x, first term, last term. Factored them out. Got 3x plus 2 and x minus 3. Same thing with my last one here. I was able to take out the 2. My sum was negative 1x. My product was negative 12x squared. Again, I only needed one of these to be negative in order to get the negative 12. And I automatically put my first term as my negative. But when I do that, I see negative 3 plus 4 gives me a positive 1, not a negative 1. So I erased my negative 3 and gave it to my negative 4, because negative 4 times 3 still gives me negative 12. But now, negative 4 plus 3 gives me my negative 1. Put these in my two middle boxes. First term, last term. Factored it out. And I got it. Alright. So I want you to go ahead and try this last problem, number 7, by yourself. So I want you to pause the video, work this out. You can either solve for each of these or just work this one backwards. Push play when you're done working it out. Alright, so you should have already done it. So there's nothing to factor out. It's 2, 7, negative 4. Don't have anything common. So I just found my sum, which was 7x. Found my product, which was 2x squared times negative 4. So I did 1x times 8x. 2x times 4x. But one of these has to be negative. So 8 and negative 1. So those go in my middle boxes, so negative 1x and 8x. First term goes here, last term goes here. Factor them out, so coefficient, the 2 can be pulled out, variable, the x can be pulled out. Here we can just pull out the negative 1. Here we can pull out the x. And here we can pull out a negative 4. I always double check it. 2x times x is 2x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. 2x times negative 4. Oh, it should be, sorry, positive 4. See, that's why I checked it. 2x times 4 is 8x. And then 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So my 2 are 2x minus 1 and x plus 4. I eliminated D and A because I saw they were x minus 4. And we have 1 and minus 1, which matches C. Alright, tomorrow we're going to do the homework in class. So if you have questions, please send it my way. Be sure you're keeping up with it all. Alright.